Hello, Francis. Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Green.
No! It'd be like maroon, I believe, is the color of the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Buddy the Elf.
Yeah, well, like Buddy the Elf, Buddy the Hield.
Buddy the Elf likes green.
Shobano Hield from the Bahamas, right? That's his actual name. Found that on the Dan Patrick Show this morning.
He's from the Bahamas?
From the Bahamas.
Wow.
Buddy Hield is taking over the NCAA Tournament in ways that we've only seen the likes of some great NBA players in the past do so. A lot have made the comparison to Danny Manning. A lot have made the comparison to Carmelo Anthony. A lot have made the comparison to Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant. All these comps about Buddy Hield, right? And his draft stock is on the rise because Buddy Hield is scoring at will.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I said during the players to watch clip where I also picked guys that have not played well, like Jaylen Brown. Buddy Hield was one that I said, I hope he drops 50 in a game. I said, I think he can easily drop 40. And I know he's touched 37 recently. He touched 36. He's getting at least 20 points a game in the tournament.
But for college, that's ridiculous.
He's a scorer. He's a scorer. And a lot of the conversation is now coming down to, is Buddy Hield the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft? And if you truly believe that, excuse yourself from the room and never play basketball, watch basketball, or talk basketball again. Buddy Hield is a special player. He is. But he's a scorer, and that is his one dimension to his game. Since his freshman year, because he's a true senior, he has improved immensely off the dribble. His stroke looks a lot prettier. He's able to create space better. If you look at him, his freshman year highlights at Oklahoma, even his sophomore year highlights, his step back was disgustingly bad. I mean, off balance, off 1 foot. It looked like if Dirk was mangled in terms of trying to take a shot off. And he changed that a lot. He's way more comfortable. His release got a lot faster, and it's all improved. This is all via Draft Express, which has great breakdown footage of Buddy Hield year to year. Buddy Hield is going to go at the max, I'd say, 4th in the NBA draft. 7th is more likely because here's the facts of the matter. Brandon Ingram, Ben Simmons, Dragon Bender, sick name, more complete players. They have way more dimensions to their game. You've watched Buddy Hield.
Yes.
You've already ripped on some of the comparisons. Please rip on them again because some of them are ridiculous.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the comparison to Steph Curry, as Jason said, if you've already excused yourself from the room,
you go back.
Excuse yourself from the fucking state. If you're comparing to Steph Curry, no similarities in shot, no similarities in style, like just ridiculous. Nonetheless, Jason, I do think you're overlooking. I wouldn't say 7th, but I still don't think he's going to go ahead of Brandon Ingram or Ben Simmons. Again, though, one thing that you have to take into account here is the consistency of his scoring against the only competition he's up against in the elitist level he could play at.
That's the key, though. You said the only competition he's up against. I'm always on board for the play who's in front of you. It's not Buddy Hield's fault that the competition isn't this year's NCAA tournament field isn't the best defense that's being thrown at him. But Villanova is about to be his toughest test, and their guards aren't even that great on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield's also 6'4", which a lot of people, he looks bigger on an NCAA field.
He's thicker.
And he could play more like a combo guard if he wants to, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to have to really learn to create even more space for NBA standards. But like you just mentioned, Oregon, not good defensively when it comes to their backcourt, and every team Buddy Hield's played throughout the regular season, not great defensively. That's not Buddy Hield's fault.
Yeah.
That's not anybody's fault. That's just the field that's in front of him. So the biggest challenge for Buddy Hield, can he make a jump to scoring at this level in the NBA? And no, I don't think Buddy Hield's going to go to and he's already averaging 30 points a game. He's a scoring title leader. He's a scoring champion. No. Here's a guy who has definitely stepped up on the biggest stage, and I think that is remarkable and should be noted. But The Ringer, Bill Simmons' new website, their writer was not ripping into Buddy Hield, but they were just saying, be cautious. It's okay to put him in the top 10. This is a guy that entering senior year of college, unlikely to make it out of the second round of the NBA draft, now a top 10 pick.
Yeah, and that's what a tournament can do to certain people, right?
Sure.
But the other point I want to ask you, or kind of state a point, and then you can shoot me down if it's not correct, is the thing about him, right? So he's got experience, senior, right? Senior in college, so he's got experience at the college level, and he's maybe not making that jump as early as some people have to, the one and dones. Nonetheless, I think one thing that the NBA is making an adjustment to now because of how prominent Golden State are in terms of their scorers is teams are looking for scorers. Yes, you want complete packages, you want complete players that are able to do everything to the elitist level. But you just said there as well, Ben Simmons is not elite either. But I would see people take a chance on drafting him early because they see the raw ability, they see his size, and they see how he can play, and they can adjust that because that's what the NBA is there for. It's very rare you get a player that comes in and immediately starts scoring. Those are the elite players. I don't think that he's going to start as significant as your Kevin Durant or Anthony Davis or these guys that come in early and just seem to take off.
Right.
But if I'm a team like, I don't know, a team that's looking for a draft pick, I think that's one of the main positives I'm looking at is how prominent he can score. And that's something that you can work from as a base in your team, especially with the way the NBA is going, because everyone needs to be able to contribute as a scorer because what Golden State are doing.
Right. I agree with you 100% on that. And that's like what kind of I'm going to wrap it up with in terms is he's the best scorer in the tournament. And if your team needs a scorer, if you're the NBA, Philadelphia 76ers, Los Angeles Lakers, the Brooklyn Nets, which actually becomes the Celtics pick, all teams that are going to be, the Phoenix Suns are all teams that are going to be in that lottery for a top 5 pick. None of those teams need a scorer. They need a more complete player if they want to compete in the NBA. The Lakers might get away with using a scorer, granted, because they have a lot of young talent.
Yeah.
But to me, a lot of it comes down with the NBA draft is sometimes it's not the number 1 overall pick. I should say the number 1 overall pick usually fits more of a need, or a top 3 pick fits more of a need than it does the best player at that position. Hence why guys like I mentioned Dragan Bender from I think Croatia he's a big guy. If your team needs a big, you don't draft Chris Dunn or Buddy Hield. Yeah. If your team needs a guard, you draft Chris Dunn or Buddy Hield. But like the one thing that I guess I wouldn't say I would be frustrated with, Buddy Hield's not the best player in the tournament. Buddy Hield is hands down the best scorer in the tournament, but I can rail off 7 guys that are a better player than Buddy Hield. What Buddy Hield is doing in the scoring aspect is the most exciting thing that has made the tournament a lot of fun this year. Yeah. But don't be jaded by the way that his ability to score, which is needed on some NBA teams, is not needed nearly as much as Brandon Ingram's all-around ability, Ben Simmons' potential all-around ability is to that. Real quick, if you want to look at a comparison, and nobody's made it, and it drives me crazy, watch James Harden's shot, watch Buddy Hield's shot. Their step back, their ability to create space. So yes, bow down, James Harden fans. I've finally given you a lovable comparison. Not how they attack the rim, very different. Just their shot. Looks a lot alike. Looks very similar.
I thought it was the same as Steph Curry's shot, no?
No, not Steph Curry's shot. I'm going to do a clip for you guys every week called X player here is the next Steph Curry. Francis Maxwell Jr. is the next Stephen Curry.
Next Steph Curry.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Kobe? There it is. Comment below. Where do you think Buddy Hield should go in the draft? If you think it's number 1, please don't say that.
Oh, and last point on Kobe. He said the reason why he went off is because Kobe was in the house.
I'm an idiot. Check out this quote from Kobe on Buddy Hield's ability to light up the tournament. I just love his motor. He says, I love his passion and his energy. He puts everything he has into the game. Lots of guys go hard out there, but with him, it's on a different level. You can see it in his face. He truly loves every minute that he's out there. He plays, man. He plays. That's what it says.
I don't know if that's
I copy and paste from the bleacher. It's copied and pasted from the bleacher. So we'll see what happens with Buddy Hield.